You're listening to Ideal Practice, episode number 127. So guys, you've still got a couple of months left to meet your goals this year. So don't lose your momentum. Don't lean back. Instead, let's talk about how to lean in to your practice, especially now, and finish the year strong. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Wendy Pitts-Reeves, and with over 2 decades of experience in the private practice world, I've built my 6-figure business while learning a lot of lessons the hard way. This is the first podcast that shows you how to apply the principles of energy, alignment, and strategy to build a practice that is profit-centered, but people-forward. This is the Ideal Practice Podcast. Hey guys, and welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Wendy Pitts-Reeves, your host, and it is my greatest honor to be hanging out with you here today on another episode of the Ideal Practice Podcast. How you doing? You guys hanging in there? At the time that this goes live, I will have just gotten back from a week at the beach. I'm recording before I go, so I can't tell you how awesome it was. I'm just going to say that I hope it's awesome. I don't know about you, but I could use a little downtime. I bet a lot of you can too. I do hope that you are doing what you need to do to take care of yourself during a time of year, a season that is especially tricky. Even before the big storms hit, the energy was wonky. There's just a lot happening in the air. It's just in the air. And I think it's a really important time to be extra careful. Be careful when you're driving. Be careful when you're walking. Be careful how you talk to each other. Pay attention to your soul and your spirit. And I hope you are honoring that and being patient with yourself and others at the same time. It's a great idea, honestly, if you can find a way to take a little break right now, because we are heading into a busy season, right? But what a lot of folks do is they tend to slow down as we head towards November and into these last couple of months of the year. There was a time back in the day, not that long ago, just a few years ago, when my own business, I had sort of reached a peak in the summer and had reached some new highs that I had never accomplished before, and I was feeling really good. And mindset issues kicked in, and in sort of an amazing kind of magical kind of way, business slowed down to a crawl, practically died. I actually had a few months that particular year when almost nothing happened in the fall, and I hid. I just hid, I'll tell you. I just went underground. I didn't talk to anybody. I mean, you wouldn't know it. It looked fine on the outside, but the truth is I quit talking to my mastermind, my coach, my accountability partners. I just acted like everything was fine because business was not happening and I didn't know what to do about it. Until the day happened that my coach emailed me out of the blue and like kind of one of those check-in, like, so what's going on with you over there? You've been kind of quiet. And she challenged me to get back in the game and to re-engage with my business in a big and really specific way. And although I'll never forget that, because it made me a little squirmy. She was like, so why don't you do this and do this and do this and then report back to me and let's see if we can't get something going here. And you know, you don't hire a coach if you're not going to follow what they suggest, right? So I did. And that experience taught me so much. We tend to think that nothing much happens at this time of the year. November, December, we're all focused on all the holiday stuff that has to happen. This year, goodness knows, there are plenty of other things going on we all have to tend to. And we tend to let our momentum die down. We tend to say, it's just not going to happen this year. It'll happen next year. But you know what? That's a mistake, because when you do that, it's extremely likely that you are missing out on opportunities to grow your income, to lead your community, to make a bigger difference in the world, like you still have plenty of time left, y'all. And whereas others may step out, I encourage you to step in. All right. Now, I have a new thing I want to offer. I want to share with you. It's kind of cool. I'm sort of excited about this. So over the years, many of you know, I often will offer you various tools, worksheets, scripts, templates, different things that I have created, usually for my coaching clients because they need it and it helps them. And then I often will bring that to you if it's something really good. Well, I have just recently pulled together some of the most popular things that I have that people ask for and use over and over and over again. And you can now get to all of it at one time in one place, totally for free. Isn't that cool? I'm like, why didn't I do this before? I don't know. I don't know why. The idea hits when the idea hits. But if you go to my website right now, wendypittsreeves.com, don't forget the S in Pitts, wendypittsreeves.com/free-resources. Free-resources. Or you'll just see in the navigation at the top of the page, it says free resources. Oh my gosh. I think you're going to love it. It made me happy when Queenie put this together for me. All the good stuff that I talk about all the time is right there, and you can pick and choose whatever is most useful for you. And some of it you will come back to probably more than once. Go check that out, guys, and tell me what you think. And let me know if I'm missing something especially juicy that you would like me to include, okay? Because my ultimate goal is to serve you in all kinds of ways, to empower you, to make the bigger difference in the world in a way that is sustainable and enjoyable and profitable for you and really good for your people too. So I think there's some stuff there that you're going to like. So go check that out. Now, let's talk about how you can lean into this time of year. To start with, just at a sort of a simple kind of a high-level intro here. One thing you might want to do, if you haven't already, because I've been talking about this a bit over the last few weeks, is to go back and look at your journals, your calendar, your planner, anywhere that perhaps you wrote goals down or intentions down for 2024, which is when I'm recording this. Did you have anything like that back in November, December of last year, January of last year? Perhaps you've done it on a quarterly basis throughout the year. You might want to go check some of that out right now. And at a bare minimum, if you don't do anything else, I want you to do three things. One, I want you to choose the one you can celebrate already. What's the thing you've done this year? One thing that, you know what, Wendy? Not everything went the way I wanted it to. A lot of things were kind of wonky, but you know what? I did do this. I'm going to tell you, for me, what I have done is really strengthened the team of support that I have. And with their help, their wisdom, their over-the-top awesomeness, we have streamlined a lot of the process behind this podcast that is making me very happy. And because of what we have done with this, I think we're going to be able to do the same thing for other things that I want to do. So, you know, how you do anything is how you do everything. And getting not only, I mean, I've had a good team for a long time. Y'all know Queenie, who makes the world go round. But now we've got Kirsten and Shara, and they are three brilliant people who make everything so much better. And I'm celebrating that for this year. A lot of things didn't happen, but that happened. What are you celebrating this year? Then I want you to choose the one thing you're letting go of for the year. You know what, Wendy? I really thought I was going to get there, but it's just not going to happen. For me, I hate to say it, but that was Evolve. That was my high-level VIP mastermind, Evolve. It makes me a little bit sad to say that out loud, but that is how it is this year. Next year, new ball game. But I am letting go of that. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen in November, December. How about you? What's something that's just flat? Wendy, it's just not going to happen. That's okay. Let it go with love. Don't waste another moment worrying about it and move on. Okay? This is what it means to work in your practice, evolve with your practice, live with your practice, and let it adapt to fit you. Okay? Now, here's where I really want to go today. I now want you to choose the one goal, the one intention, the one big idea you had for this year that you are still leaning into. Leaning into. Rather than lose these last 2 months, let's lean into them and find even better ways to serve your people. And I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to give you a few ideas, okay? This is going to be kind of rapid fire, but I sat down, I thought about it. I did a little brainstorming with my wife, who is also an entrepreneur, and we're like, how could you lean in to your business in the last 10 years? Last 10 years. That's kind of what it feels like I've been doing. Last 2 months. Let's talk about it. Number 1, 10 ways. Set a small financial goal just for these 2 months, and then challenge yourself to find creative ways to meet it. Better yet, do this with an accountability buddy. Find a partner, find a colleague who wants to do the same, and the two of you hold each other accountable. One small financial goal. You know what? This is what I'm going to bring in the last 2 months of the year. Number 2, to help with that, start by looking for money on the table. What's out there just waiting for you to pick it up? That could be money that you save, canceling subscriptions, selling some furniture, letting go a service that you don't use anymore. It could be money that you collect. Maybe there's a refund that's owed you. Maybe you've got a rebate. Maybe you've got some old insurance claims that are just waiting for you to make the phone calls to sort them out. Maybe you've got a client that has forgotten they even owe you. What's the money on the table that's out there waiting for you to pick it up? Go find it. Idea number 3, look for ways to create a new product that will serve your people or repackage an old one. Now, that could be something like bundling together tools, worksheets, homework exercises. Maybe you made a couple of videos for something somewhere along the way that walked people through a series of tips that you could bundle together and sell for $29 as a package. What could you offer that's new? What have you already done in the past that you could pull together, put a nice shiny new cover on it, give it a new name, clean it up a little bit, and offer it? Make some money. Idea number 4, clean up your mailing list and send 3 emails out to all of your former clients, people that you are not working with currently, but you have in the past. Give them something of value. Invite them back in for a tune-up, a checkup, a reassessment, a reset, an emotional reset, an energetic reset, a physical reset. At the bare minimum, ask them to check in and tell you how they're doing. Always, 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 for the honor of the relationship, always, I want to know how you are. You know, whether I talked, you don't have to come in. I just want to, I haven't talked to you in forever. How you doing? But honestly, if you can come up with a 3 email series that says, I've been thinking about you. This is something, I got something new I want to offer you. Would love to see what you think about it. And you pitch that over 3 different emails. And the third one says, why don't you, I'd still love to hear from you no matter what's going on. Give me some news, right? Do that. Idea number 5. This will get the energy going. Clean out the clutter. Clean out the clutter in your office. Clean out the clutter on your computer. Clean out the clutter in your desk. And when you're done, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and set up some new folders for the new clients that you're going to attract? They can be literal physical folders in your desk. They can be digital folders in Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever you use. But why don't you go ahead and create a space for the new clients that are going to fill that soon? Idea number 6. Reach out to a colleague that you haven't seen in a while. Set up a catch-up lunch. And when you do, ask how they are and ask how you can serve them. What do they need? What are they struggling with right now? What's their greatest challenge right now? And how could you help them? Focus on service. Meet somebody for lunch, meet somebody for coffee that you haven't talked to in a long time and say, we need to catch up. And then when you do, say, so what are you struggling? What's your biggest challenge right now? What are you working on in your practice? Anything I can do to help you with that? Yeah, that'll feel good. Idea number 7, better yet. This will challenge you a little bit. Identify 3 new connections with colleagues, allied professionals, people that you know in your community or in your region, or for that matter, I don't care, around the country. Possible referral sources, possible resources that you either haven't met or you barely know, and reach out to them about doing a hangout. It could be meeting for coffee. It could be meeting for happy hour. It could be a Zoom hangout with coffee, whatever you want, your beverage of choice. But if you really want to challenge yourself to step a teeny tiny bit outside of your comfort zone and do something that's a little bit makes you a little bit nervous, but it's good for you, find 3 people that you don't know at all or you barely know and you want to know better, and reach out to them. Idea number 8. I think last episode I was talking about doing a cleanup of your overall practice. And I was talking about pillar number 7, and I talked about your mindset, your personal growth and development, how you're doing on the inside is important. Well, what kind of skill set could you lean into in these last couple of months? Do you need to research and register for a class, a training, some kind of a certification, something you want to know more about? Is there something clinical you want to do and dive into? I myself am really want to get some training into polyvagal theory. I have not had that. I've been reading about it. I've been hearing about it from some of my coaching clients, and I'm super interested in it. Haven't had the time yet or found the bandwidth to do it, but that's going to be one of my big things for next year. I really want to do that. What do you want to get into? One of my coaching clients, we did her 90-day prep call the other day I do different things with different people, but in this particular case, I meet with this client once a quarter to map out what she's going to be focusing on in the next quarter. And we talked about lots of different things, but one of them was that one particular month in the next quarter, she's going to dig into understanding MailChimp. If nothing else, she is going to learn how a mailing list works, the ins and outs of tagging, of segmenting her list, how a list even works. She's just going to I'm just going to learn how to do it. That's her focus. What skill set could you focus on developing in these next 2 months that would move you forward? Idea number 9, review your daily schedule and set up your ideal week in a way that creates a container for creative work. This is not overtly about money on the table or overtly about meeting that financial goal. But when you create space for deep work, when you create space for creative thought, when you create space for dropping in to the work at a richer level, ideas will come to you. And that's when you'll develop that new product or bundle together that old one in some new way. That's when you will come up with something new you can offer people for a fee. That's when you figure out where there's money laying around that you forgot about that you can go get, right? So review your daily schedule and set up your ideal week in a way that creates a container, a space, a guarded, protected space for creative work. And idea number 7 is the best one of all. That is to put on your calendar, one day that you set aside for a personal planning retreat to wrap up this year, map out your ideas for next year. That too is going to be helpful in all kinds of ways. That is also a way of leaning into your business in these last couple of years. And in fact, if you like that idea, if that's something that you don't normally do, but it's a ritual you want to develop, or if it's something you have done in the past, but you do it in kind of a half-assed way, well, let's take that up a notch. in December on Friday, December the 6th. That afternoon, I'm going to be leading a half-day workshop, afternoon Eastern time. That'll be middle of the day on the Pacific Coast. I'm going to be leading a half-day workshop specifically for clearing out this year and amping up for next year. It's called On Purpose 2025. Registration won't open for several weeks yet, but you can go get yourself on the list to be notified when that becomes available, just in case it's something you decide you want to do. Go to wendypittsreeves.com/on purpose. All one word, no hyphens or anything like that. Get your name on the waiting list and I'll make sure that you know about it. My main point here is that it's easy to think that nothing much happens in November and December. And it is true. This is not the time for some great big thing, okay? This is the time for micro movement. This is the time to take one thing and make it better. Take one thing to make some money at. Take one thing that you can do that just changes the way you think, plan, run your business, live through your business. One thing, right? So go back and listen to this again if you want. I went through that very quickly, but all of those are perfectly good ideas. And I honestly think perhaps the best one is to set a financial goal for these 2 months and come up with a creative way to meet that goal. That would be good for me to do too. That's good for all of us. That tells your brain, I'm not done yet. Not even close. And you're not. All right, my friend. So when I think back over the last several years, honestly, I can think of several times when some of my biggest wins happened in those last couple of months of the year. Sometimes between Christmas and New Year's. One of the most successful things I ever did happened between Christmas and New Year's when I came up with a crazy new idea and launched it with like no planning at all. So you really can make big money and do good things even in this last little bit. The year that my coach challenged me that way, that was the first year. And remember I said I'd had a great year for the first half of the year and then everything kind of died. With her nudge, which is what a coach does for you, and the accountability that I got through that, and her very specific suggestions for what actions to take, I did what she suggested I do. It was hard. And that was the year I passed for 6 figures for the first time at the end of the year. So don't give up. Don't give up. You are not done. You are not done. If I could do that, well, then why not you? Yeah. Use the ideas that I've given you here or choose your own. You probably have a few ways of your own to lean in this right here at the end of the year. Choose that, do that, and send me a message and tell me. Hit reply and tell me on the email if you get that from me. You can text me at the bottom of the show notes. In the show notes, there's actually a link you can actually text me, or shoot me a DM on Facebook. However you want to reach me, I'd love to hear how you are going to lean in so that we finish the year strong. That's what I got for you today, everybody. You guys have an awesome week. Take care of yourselves. Let's get this going, okay? All right. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good week, and I will see you next week right here on the Ideal Practice Podcast. Bye now. Hey, y'all. If this program has become important to you, if Ideal Practice matters, it would mean so much to me if you'd be willing to take just a minute to do one or two of the following things. First of all, would you follow or subscribe to the show here at Ideal Practice? Following me helps you because you'll never miss an episode, but it helps me as well for all kinds of reasons. To do that, all you have to do is go to the show page for Ideal Practice on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. There, just click on the plus sign that you'll usually find in the top right-hand corner, or click on the word follow that you're going to find somewhere there on that page. Of all the things, this really is the most important thing you can do for the podcast itself. While you're there, it would be extra special if you would be willing to give me a 5-star rating, and even better than that, a review with your own words. Your words matter. And when you write what you feel, what you think, you uplift and encourage others. And I love that. If you want to go a step further than that, take your favorite episode or two, one of the ones that has meant a lot to you, and share it with a friend. Could you do one or two of those things for me? I promise I will love you forever. You guys matter to me, and I value your support more than I can possibly say. Thank you, sweet friend, for anything you can do to help me out and support the show. I'll see you again soon.